Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hello. It's very nice to see some friendly faces here. Welcome to our last session of our fall series of Nature RX. And you have arrived to the Japanese flower arranging session. I promise you that you are in for a treat. My name is Stacy Parker, and I'm a Gateways horticulturist with the UC Davis Arboretum and Public Garden. And much of my work is about connecting people to the power and of healing that comes from connecting to nature. And this was one of our sessions that we gave in our student seminar this fall. And I must say that if you've been to any of my previous sessions, you know that I am not shy about begging our instructors to come and do these sessions for our staff and faculty sessions because they are so amazing. You are truly in for a treat. I want to welcome and introduce our instructor for today, Professor Haruko Sakakibara. She's a professor emeritus in East Asian languages and cultures from UC Davis. And I must say that this is a practice that I think many of you can take forward into the future. It's very, we had a bunch of extra material from our session with our students. And I have to say that I ended up making several arrangements and I got into like a real zone. So hopefully this becomes something that you treasure in your lives. I'm gonna hand it over to Haruko. Welcome, thank you so much. I'll be here for questions in the chat as they arise, but if anybody has any questions in the meantime, you can send them personally to me in chat or to everyone. So welcome, Haruko, and thank you all for being here.
Well, it's so exciting that so many people are here together, and then we are in this amazing pandemic time, and then the Christmas is coming up, and we are looking for some fun, right? And something beautiful in the house. So this is perfect. And just to introduce myself, I was teaching Japanese for like 30 years on campus. But along with that, I have always been cultivating my hobby of flower arrangements. I was born in Tokyo and I started the Japanese flower arrangement training when I was 20. And I continued on. And then I also got some training in Western arrangements. So I still do a lot of flower arrangements and I use a lot of things from my yard. And it's exciting that I can share my hobby with you. And I'll tell you, it's actually a very deep concept and it's like a lifetime learning thing. So it's such a challenge to pack everything in 30 minutes or 20 minutes. And but at least Stacy gave me this occasion to start. So I may be able to see you like 2 more times during a year. And the repetition is the key for anything. So I will repeat the key principles, and then there are many ways of variations, but please start from the principles. Don't start out from your own creativity because I'm offering what I have cultivated in my long years of learning. So that's my suggestion. And then I start out with some of my slide presentations, go through some Japanese and nature and how appreciate flower arrangements and so forth. And then I'll go into the actual structure of arrangement. And then I'll show some demonstrations and then it's your time. So hopefully you'll have a good time. So let me start. So I'm sharing my screen. Are you seeing my screen? Yeah, okay. So let me start. So welcome to this class. Um, if you go to Japan, you'll be surprised how many florists you'll find in almost in every block. And we have a way of living along with train stations because we don't really drive to places. We have good established train systems and bus systems. So people's lives evolve around the train station. They get off from the train and they shop everything there, and then they go walk home and so forth. So you see the florist like this, just really gorgeous florist with lots of flowers. And the point is they sell not only flowers, but they sell greens. And then they sell flowers like this, and I can say, hey, please give me 2 stems of sunflowers, and then 1 stem of a carnation, and then give me 3 stems of this green. That's how I can shop. Whereas over here, nowadays we just buy a bundle at Trader Joe's, and it all comes without your choice in a way. Could be your choice. But so in Japan, I can choose more things because there are more varieties of flowers and greens available. And if I were to teach flower arrangement class in Japan, these florists do an amazing job of making all the packages I want to use, identical packages for 20 students. So I can give a class with identical, things, and it's much easier to teach. But with this COVID, of course, everybody has their own materials. So, and I cannot get to give you hands-on practice with you. So there are some limitations, but there are a lot of things we can accomplish. So there are other pictures of florists, and she just bought a flower at the store, and she's walking home. There are lots of greens in Japan. 3/4 of Japan is filled with greens. So we have lived it with nature. Historically speaking, Japan started out with the most indigenous form of religion called Shinto, which is God's way. And Shinto really focuses on reverence to nature. So all over Japanese lives, we have nature affecting us, like what to wear during the season. The seasonal change is so apparent. We choose what we eat according to the season, and we bring in different nature, different flower arrangements into the house to live with the nature inside the house. So let's look at some of the glass flower arrangements. Glass flower arrangements is just something I came up with while I was teaching students, because at the end of my appreciation of nature in Japan class at a freshman seminar, I really wanted the students to experience creating some art on their own. So I brought in lots of flowers, and I bought these glass vases, $1 at the dollar shop. And then so they had some things to enjoy, and they went for arranging. So I found out it's very fun, and you can use it at home. So that's what I'm doing today. But I'm trying to bring in the concept of flower arrangement in this arrangement today. So I'm just putting a lot of things together into this class. So do you see how glass vases are so soothing? Sorry for my dog. And then look at the small glasses. And I asked you to get the small glasses like this today. And it affects the size or shape of the vase affects what kind of arrangement you have on top. Basically, you repeat the shape of the vase. So if this is slender, you'll end up making a little slender, tall arrangement. And if you have something like this, it's a little shorter and a little fatter, then you end up making a little wider, covering more area, and then shorter arrangement. So that's what happens. And then what do you notice in these arrangements? So characteristics, I'm showing small amount of fresh flowers, right? We don't pack everything, just a little bit, simple colors. And then they are all movable in the house place, anywhere, on the table or at the corner. So you can place on top of your table, at the corner of your computer desk, or typically we find these little glass vase at the corner of restroom in Japan. And see, so think about where you might want to put more small glass flowers in your house. I'm sure you got a bundle of flowers like this, and then you have so many flowers. Are you like, are you the typical buyer of the flowers and the florist? You buy them, you just bring it back, and you get a big jar, and you just stick it in. Is that your arrangement? No, please. You know, you bought the flowers. You have a power to make them become alive and pretty in the house. So even if you have a bundle of flowers, you may choose. Oh, okay, I will use these together, and then you may come up with two nice glass arrangements. That's the goal. So you are the designer. Okay. So let's compare two styles. Western styles on the left, uh, a Japanese style on the right. What do you notice? I'm going to make it into like I want some people to say what you notice in here. What are the differences, characteristics of Western style, Japanese style? Would somebody speak up? You can unmute yourself. Would somebody speak?
Minimalist.
Minimalist, that's Japanese, right? Okay.
Vertical rather than horizontal.
Oh, yeah, okay. Japanese, vertical rather than horizontal. Okay, good observation. And look at how many types of materials you see. Japanese minimalist, that was a word. And Western style, we pack it with many colors. Okay, so if I summarize this kind of difference, okay, let me go back to, okay, I'm gonna go back to my view. Okay, so if you compare it, you see that in Western style, if you have many flowers, you pack it, no space, and then you don't really utilize the shape of the greens like the Japanese one. You see how greens are making it tall and spacious, and you may even feel breeze in the vase. And another thing is in Japanese arrangement, vases are important. Vases represents earth. And whatever you see on top here is creating a universe. So we are creating a life scene in this arrangement, whereas Western style, we are basically looking at colors, and we enjoy additional colors, like they're like paintings to my eyes. And then another interesting observation is Western style, lots of characters share one space. It looks like an American culture to me. And they're all speaking, hey, look at me, I'm special. Hey, look at me, I'm special. In Japanese arrangement, all of us make a group effort and create one scene of a nice stage. One is a main character, fine. Other people are like walking on streets, fine. We all together make a nice stage. So these are the pictures of flowers from Nugget I took. So I saw something like this. They're all, beautiful, but clusters of colors, no greens. And these are the Japanese styles I made. You may have seen it. So I utilized lots of greens in different shapes and just simple colors. This is all greens. And you may wonder how Japanese arrangement actually happens. We use things called kenzan, which are the needles here, and then we put the bottom here. That's how we fasten the branches and the flowers, but we don't have these equipments. That's why I asked you to bring in some marbles and rocks. And okay, oh, my dog is so amazing. He'll become quiet soon after my husband comes in the house. I'm sorry about it. So three main lines in Japanese. Just a sec. Okay, so this is the vase and the three main lines. So we are looking at three three corners, triangle shape, higher, little lower than the lowest. So you end up recognizing three triangles. And in Japanese arrangement, we don't use even numbers. Even numbers create symmetry, and we don't go for symmetry. In nature, since we are creating nature in the vase, nature, there's no symmetry. You have many different styles, but there's only 1 or 3 or 5. We like those odd numbers. So basic style is shin, the main tall one, and then soe, the second one going this way, and tai coming forward, short like this. Lengthwise in original arrangement, this whole arrangement, if you have a Japanese vase, it's supposed to be 3 times as tall as the height of the vase. 1, 2, 3. And then second soe is supposed to be 2/3 of the first tall shin. And the third tai portion is considered as, again, 2/3 of the second one. So this is how we structure it. And then, so let's look at the real arrangements in Japanese style. The vases are different styles. And if the vases are taller, they tend to be taller arrangement. If it's a kind of a fat one, then you can create more space on top. So do you see it's all one material of probably plum blossoms. Shin, number 1, soe going to the left, and then tai coming here. What we are imagining is this is the ground. There is a root. This plant is growing naturally, and here is the sun. So we need to make sure your arrangement is facing a sun. It doesn't face all over the places. So this is the shin. It's a little long soe, and then this is tai. So do you see this one, it utilized 2 branches for shin soe, and tai are just a little bit of flowers. That's a variation. And then this is a concept. Shin goes tall to the sky, reaching out to heaven. And tai goes to the world of people. And so this is current now. And tai goes to reach out to the future, for the future of our world, young life. So it's typical to use like this one, shin, tall, soe, and then in tai, we include little bud, which indicates the future. And you may see, so this has a bundle, like a cluster of 5 leaves as shin. So there's one main one, but other ones can be added to support. But none of them have same height. None of them are symmetrical. Like this one, this is the main one. Other ones are cut in a nice length that is all different. And so you see other ones. This is very different. It's a very creative arrangement. So let's go on to our concept. So I showed you shin, soe, tai, and there is a sun. And then I put it this way, but this is, and then last one, ashirai is other supporting branches that can be added after you make sure you have 3 main portions. And this is how you can apply it to today's tall glass arrangement. So let's think about this. Look at what you have, and I would like to focus on two things. One is your floral portion, and then the other one is the leaf or green portion. If you have pointy leaves, use those pointy leaves as 1, 2, 3, and then use small flowers to fill in as tai or in the middle of it, short. And then number 2, if you have filler type of filler type of leaves, not really pointies, with small flowers, then use flowers, tall flowers to shape 1, 2, 3, and then fill in with the leaves. Okay. And then, so I'm stopping the sharing here and I'm going into my presentation. Okay, so would you give me a pin and I'm going to present. And in the meantime, please look at your flowers and have a little planning of what you may want to do. I'll try to shut up my dog, so please give me a little moment. Okay, it's taken care of. Okay, so here I'm going to show my, okay, I'm going to share some arrangements. So first I will try the slender arrangement. I have got a taller cup with marbles in it. I selected these materials. And it's much easier if I focus on just one color and just do this like this. But since it's Christmas, I am considering this as one more color, which would make a nice color. So you can have some variations. So, okay, so this is the tall shin. That's what, tall shin, and then soe, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm looking at these. You always need to clean up your material before you use it. So a lot of the training is how to train your eyes. Always look at it, and then if you have mini carnations, please cut off little buds that would not bloom, because then your arrangement will last longer. And also, okay, don't just stick it in like this. You always have a plan. I want to have a tall one here, okay? I'm going to split this carnation into 2 portions this way. You see? So this is tall now, okay? So I'm going to use this, and for glass arrangement, since it's going to go on top of the table, it can't be so tall. So I'm just basically looking at like almost the same height, twice as high. So clean up the leaves, make sure leaves don't go into the water because it'll decay everything quicker. And this is important. Every time you put something in, cut the bottom in the water. Slanting is better because it creates more space. So this is nice slender carnation. Okay, and then there's one. So I don't want to. I want to make a nice contrasting numbers or portions. So I am sorry to say to this carnation, I'm cutting this off. Just this. But I don't throw it away. I'll keep it and put it in some other little thing. So, so this is like shin. I go to the back. This is like soe, okay? And then I am going to use this chrysanthemum. Again, you may, I think lots of you have done something like this. Again, don't stick it in like this. Have a plan. Okay, look for how you can cut. Okay, I decided to cut it right here, right in the middle of it. Do you see how I created a tall one and a mass? So I just want to, I want this, and I want to start out with 1. See how it looks. I'll just use it right here. I'll go by minimalist, just 1 today. And if I have more carnations here, I may go for 3. Okay, so this is just the plan. And I'm going to use other greens as a filler today in low area. Even for the filler, think about following these 3 stems, and then you end up nice shape. So you always have to have a plan. So branch like this, if you have it, you always cut at the right place. Oh, this is so nice. So cut. And I want to create 3 nice ones I can use. Okay, so this is the strongest. If you have most leaves, that's the strongest one. And I would use it in the center. Again, cut it in the water, use it low. This is my overall helmet, so I take it off. One more taking it off. Just put it in the maybe like here. And then another one, clean it up, cut, clean it up. Something like this is good. Then use kind of like a fluffy way. So just last one. So I'm taking it off again because if the bottom is too crowded, it's not good. So I will put it in the back. So let it face you. Oh, it's kind of, when I don't have enough time, it's hard to make it to what I really like to do. And let me just look at it from your view. Okay, so, uh-oh. Okay, so something like this. Something like this. And I made this ribbon the other day. So if you have a ribbon, you can just make a ribbon, use a wire, and you can stick it in. And it just makes a really nice, cute arrangement. So this is a tall one. So this is tall. Another one is a little fat one with this one. I have some pebbles in it. And I have these. Oh, I made a big mistake. This was supposed to be, wow, what did I do? Okay, I have to adjust. Okay, so now I have these roses. Again, don't stick it in like this. So you have to spend a little time cleaning up. Okay, you are looking for flower part. So you have to start to cut like this. And then, okay, these are nice roses. Again, cut, cut, cut. Take it off, clean up. But leave some leaves there. Okay, so I'm sorry, what I messed up was I was going to do it the other way. I was going to use these for taller vase with greens taller, but I went for the other way. So let me do this with a leaves taller version. So if you're going to use leaves taller, these are like ferns. It's from my yard. If you are going to use 3 ferns, compare and see which one is the longest and is the best looking. So it's this one. So you have to talk with your material. Okay, I'm going to use you as a star, and then you choose it, and then you have to clean it up like this. Then cut in water. So I'm making this a tall one. I may have wanted more rocks here. Okay. So then the second strong one, and then I also need to look at the shape, because if this is a natural shape, you cannot use it like this. It would naturally go this way. So you have to look at it. So this will come to the front and this will go to the side. Again, clean it up. This will go to the side. And then I would use this for tie. So I'll end up having 3 leaves like this. Do you see them? So this is shin, this is like soe, and this is coming forward, tie. The angle is not right, so you see the length's different. It's like this. Okay. So now just here, I'm gonna put roses, again, a minimalist kind. And again, cut off the buds you don't use. That would not bloom. So, and then create some nice individual stem to use. I'm just looking for 3. Something like this. Okay, don't put everything in the same height. Everything has to be different height. So so from here, you just kind of find a nice way to fit in. This is the same height. Fit in like this. And then like this. So something like this. This would maybe come here. Okay. And then I have a gold ribbon. It's a little big, but if I put the little gold ribbon here, it just makes some nice colorful arrangement for the festivity.
I have a question. Do you never put leaves below the water line? Do you always trim those?
No.
Okay.
We don't put it. Well, if you choose a style, you may want to do it. But the original thought process of Japanese arrangement, leaves never touch the vase. It's always clean because that's how plants grow from the ground. So just to give you some thoughts, if you have some big ones like this, the easiest arrangement is this. Think about just 3 different ones. Don't use everything. Leave some. So use a big one, really big one, very close. This is totally different from what I was talking about. Put it very close to the end. This can be just a nice arrangement. And then choose something tall. Again, make sure to clean up. Like this. So the something tall gives the height. This alone is good, but then if you have something else, take about the middle length and then just put it somewhere in the middle. Again, this is angle. Do you see this? Okay, so if you have 1 or 2 big flowers with something tall like this, this is the easiest pretty arrangement. And again, this is 1, 2, 3, not 2. But you can do it with 2 too. Okay, so I talked a little bit too long. Please go ahead and try yours. Thank you. So nice to see you, Taylor. Taylor was in my Japanese class.
先生、久しぶりですね。
So nice to see you.
Yeah, I was really excited when I saw you were teaching this.
And she was in my freshman seminar, so she did this arrangement before.
What can I say? I really enjoy it.
Oh, great. Yes. Well, as you arrange, please raise questions because not everybody's arranging. So, any questions I can handle. Jen, are you done? Are you done? Let me see. Okay, let's pin yours. Okay. So this is how. Would you show me the vase? Oh, okay. Oh, you have this concept of 1, 2, 3. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. How do you like it? I can't hear you. Would you unmute?
I do. I'm one of those that was saying, yes, I'm the one that brings them home and plunks them in the vase. That's why I wanted to study this because
and I was going to, if I had time, I was going to show you. You get something like this in the store too. In your bunch. Yeah.
Right.
So if you have something like this, you may think, is this a flower or green? You don't know which
Yes.
way to go. Then just be creative, and if I were you, I would think, okay, these are the flowers, and they can be green.
Okay.
So I will use it taller, and they become like filler type of greens. So I'm sure you can start to make a couple of arrangements in one bunch from now.
Oh yeah. I have enough left over in this bunch to do another. So is this okay? I mean, is this following the concept?
Yes. As a beginning one, it's well done. And then you added baby's breath for a little color.
Yeah.
And if you're going to use a white baby's breath, the concept is you don't overpower the flowers.
Okay.
It's an additional color, so it has to be little buried that or just really fluffy, and then do not compete with the flowers.
So maybe trim this down a bit.
That may work, but it looks good to me now. But some of the baby's breath have the same strength like those roses, so you may think about the balance.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else who wants to share? Anybody else who is doing the arrangement, please share. How about Tanya? How is it going?
Well, I just started over because I decided I didn't like my things were too close to the same color. And I decided I liked this as sort of a center, but is this too much for my tall plant?
It's a little bit too much, because how many flowers do you have there?
Right. It's 4 flowers. So would you cut it down to the top 2, or proportionally?
All together, try to create a slender shape.
Okay.
So if you have the kind of a tiny tall one in the center, that would really be good.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also it has you need to think about the proportion with other ones you're using.
Right.
What's the second one?
Well, I liked these colors wise.
Yeah.
And they're like little carnations.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are more than 1 per stem. So I don't know if that throws off the balance.
Okay, well, if you haven't cut anything, I would use 2 greens for 1 and 2, Shin and Soe.
Okay.
And then use the third red one as Tai.
Okay.
Because the shorter one gets more attention.
Okay.
So, Christmas and red one at the bottom would probably be prettier.
Okay, thank you.
And then you have filler types of greens too?
Yes, they're pointy leaves.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just you use it like surrounding those parts.
Okay.
Okay. So how about other person who has the arrangement? Diane, you are done? Yes. Let's see what you came up with.
Okay, so I did 3 while you were talking, and so if you would critique them, then I can learn. So here, let me figure out how to get this. Okay, so here is the first one.
Okay. Well, which is a front? How am I viewing it?
I would say that that's the front.
And can I see the size of the vase you have? Oh, you have a nice bow. Okay. Well, if you have the vase is a little bit tall, and width seems okay, but you already chopped the rose.
I think I chopped it too much.
Yeah, if you had the stem showing like this much, and then make it a little taller altogether,
Yeah.
it would have become a little more gorgeous.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
okay.
Here was my
But the choices are good. Yeah, the directions and choices are good.
second one, the same kind of vase.
Okay.
And then, when you said the greenery shouldn't touch the jar, this, there's no getting around the greenery touching.
Well, you can't help it because it really depends on the type of greenery you have.
Okay.
So what I said is just a basic, concept, and we can make variations. So let me see your flowers. Would you turn it toward me so that I can?
Too many flowers, huh?
Well, which is the front?
Whoa, that's a good question. I guess.
Show it to me. I think the green is the front.
Okay, let's turn it this way.
I think that that's. Oh, but your bow is on the different way.
I can move that around.
Yeah, if you use a bow that way, bow should be showing the front.
Okay, I have to work on that.
Okay, again, it was like the previous one. You have red and a little whitish pink and green, and red is the strongest color. So in a way, it's better to use red shorter.
Oh.
And then make the white go taller.
Oh, I like that.
And also think about the the size of the carnation and the chrysanthemum you have. Carnation is altogether slender, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's fitting more for the slender, tall part.
Okay.
So that's a that's a consideration next time. Okay. Okay. Who else? Thank you very much. Oh, you have a third one. Let me see.
I was killing it while you were talking.
Oh, okay. So let me see. So you did like you did like tall one and then second and then third. That's good. That's good. I mean, let me see. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, great.
Okay.
Okay. But if I say something about it, the red flowers and the white ones, they are about the same size. Okay. So if they are the same size, they compete.
Oh.
So you have to make one more of a main character than the other.
Like this.
Well, if you are using it that way, I would trim the red flowers.
Okay.
You have like 5 flowers there. 5. I may trim it into 3.
Okay.
Keep the tall one, but the lower one I may trim it. I may the red flowers in the red cluster. I will create it a little smaller cluster, so that it's much smaller altogether than the white cluster.
Okay.
It's a way to look the triangle. The top is always slender, and bottom goes more. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a very good example for us to learn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who else has done it? Please share. Get a review. Anne, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, let me see it.
Oh, it's kind of tall.
Okay. Oh, you chose a really good tall one for the shin. You have a good concept of 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's lovely.
And that's
yeah. No, it's a tall one. It's lovely. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so who else is here? Let me see the view. Please raise your hand. Alisa, you are done? Alisa, you want to show me?
Hello. So
Okay, so explain to me your plan.
here, oh, sorry, I'm under attack.
Okay, yeah, she wanted to participate.
Yes. So I was going for the tall here
Yeah.
and trying to balance with here, and then maybe I have too much going on.
I think so. You already know. Because the tall one, there's only one, okay? And the second one, thistle you used, how many do you have? 4?
Oh, 4, so I should take some out.
Yeah, well, I would just use 2 because you only have 1 at the top. So
Okay.
use 2 for number 2, second one. And then the leaves come out. And how many leaves do you have? They are big leaves.
They are big. So take some of the leaves out and take some of the thistle out. Okay, I'll try to see.
Right. Yeah. And the leaves, try to make it come forward, suggesting the future. Don't make the center too crowded with the green because you have another flowers for the center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And eventually our eyes will go into the flowers. So you made a design with 1, 2, 3, but when it's put on the table, people's eyes will go to the flowers.
Okay.
See, that is the actress of your arrangement, right? So make it become special.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So who else is sharing? Please raise your hand. Okay, Melissa. Okay, show me yours.
Hello. Let me see if I can get far enough back.
Okay. So what's your plan?
So my plan was my tall, slender pieces of
1.
rose,
Okay.
and then the eucalyptus here is the second one, and then this one here is towards the front.
Okay, so you use 3 different materials. Well, it's hard to focus, stabilize the direction. So I understand. If you actually put the rose on your table, try to make it, don't come onto the rim, but try to make it stay in the center. Then, and then I think overall it's too tall.
Okay.
It's too tall. Yeah. So keep it like so make maybe like cut off everything 2 more inches and make the overall shorter. And that way you would end up trimming off the bottom leaves of the roses.
Okay.
So take off the bottom leaf. Would you do it for me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do it by hand. Yeah. Okay. So then it makes a slender line better, and then cut it shorter. Okay. And then let me just comment one more thing. Your berries are very pretty, but they are standing straight. They are standing straight. So make sure that is leaning toward the future, to the front. That way you create a little more space. So that's the consideration. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Well, we have made it already to 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I know. It went so quickly. It was so fabulous, I have to say. I'm sure everybody got a lot out of it. I did share a survey in the chat, and there'll also be a follow-up email if you prefer to do it that way. But I just want to thank Haruko so sincerely. This is always so fabulous. I'm sure everybody loved it. The chat is filling up with gratitude for today's session. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you, Haruko. And I hope that you all have a very restful break and a very happy new year. And we'll probably be doing more of this in the new year. So the more that we get your feedback, the better on if you enjoyed these sessions and would like them to continue. So thank you all so much. We may be able to stay a couple minutes after.
May I just say something?
Yes, of course.
Flower arrangement is treat for yourself.
Oh.
So don't think it's a waste of money, and stuff. So if you can afford it, get a nice flower bouquet you like, and then come home and enjoy designing and have a great time. It's the best thing to do in this COVID time.
That is so well said. I love that so much. Thank you so much. And I just saw a question in the chat about our spring classes. We haven't set a series up yet. I'm sure we'll get to that maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to work with Connie from staff and faculty health and well-being, and we'll figure something out. But check back on the website, or hopefully you can also sign up for their for one of their listservs, and you can be notified that way as well. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Linda, it will be available. We just have to caption our videos before we are able to post them. So that's actually the little bottleneck, is that we're having.
I think Heather, I didn't look at yours, and you are the last person. Shall I take a quick look at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I think I have some ideas for how to make it better, and it is very minimal because I didn't go out and buy flowers. I went
okay.
in the yard,
But you are studying the structure.
Yeah. So
okay, looks like the lines are good. And then see, because your vase is a kind of a fat kind of vase, it will definitely be happy to have some flowers in it. But with that, if you put some carnations like that in the middle, maybe 2 or 3 of them, it's just a nice arrangement. Yeah, so try that again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. And hey, Taylor.
Thank you. Yeah. I know. I wanted to see Taylor's. That looks so great.
I think I need some advice.
Oh, Taylor, I haven't forgot yours. Okay, Taylor, let me see yours.
So I switched out my leaves at the last minute because I bought some round ones from Trader Joe's, but I also had another bouquet that I had just hanging out, and I don't have that many flowers, so I kind of just only use 3 carnations here with some greens in the background.
If you're using carnations, 3 is perfect. So you have 1, 2, 3. The shapes are great. The leaves, use them lower.
Lower. Okay, I was so scared of trimming it too much.
You need to make them a little lower because it is about the same height as the second height of the second carnation.
Kind of competing a bit.
Yeah, use the leaves as fillers so they go a little lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had these. Do you think the round ones would work better here? I got these kind of funny looking guys.
It may be cute. So round ones would create some fun shapes. So make them become little different lengths, and then place differently and enjoy, but make sure they have the different height.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything.
You can even use that on top of that,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Sensei.
Okay. Okay, so I think I finished everything, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think that we're good. Unless anybody else wants a little bit of feedback, a little bit of bonus feedback before we go. James, I thought we might get to see yours. Did you want to share yours? Maybe.
James, did you arrange? I didn't see him arrange. Maybe in the next class he'll arrange.
Yeah, he has a bunch. I saw it, but
really?
Yeah, but maybe we're past time anyway, so
okay,
we should get going. That was so fabulous as usual.